You're watching Time Warner Cable's Local Edition. I'm Brad Pomerance. Glad you're with us. Our guest, Ted Lieu, member of the California State Senate. And I want to speak with you about two initiatives that appear to be slated for the ballot in November. And they both deal with increasing taxes. I want to get a sense from you, aside from the specifics of the initiative, do you think California voters are ready to pull the lever to increase their own taxes?
For one of the initiatives, but not for both.
What about just philosophically?
I do, because I believe California voters realize how much of a pounding education has been getting the last few years. The cuts have simply been enormous. I have two children in public school,
right,
and I think folks understand education is really the key to our future.
So when you say for one of the initiatives, right, I know you're a supporter of Governor Brown's initiative.
Correct.
You are not a supporter of Molly Munger's initiative.
Correct.
But one could argue that Molly Munger's initiative, which it streams most of its money to education.
Well, they both do, but Molly Munger's initiative actually does raise taxes on everybody,
literally everybody,
including the poorest of the poor. Mm-hmm. So if you make over $7,800 a year, your income taxes go up. If you're in the middle class, your income taxes go up. The governor's is much more focused on the wealthy, those who make $500,000 as a couple or $250,000 individually.
But couldn't one argue we're all in this together and everyone should engage in a little pain, and that means we all should pay a little more?
No, because I don't think the poorest of the poor should have their income taxes raised at this moment in time. If we were in a situation where the economy was doing better, then I would be more willing to support such a measure. But the governor's also has a lot of stakeholders. He's worked with the California Federation of Teachers, right, and the Courage campaign, and the millionaire's tax and his have compromised. It's got multiple stakeholders, cities, counties, public agencies.
Let's talk about it specifically. What the governor's initiative would do is it would increase sales tax by 1/4 cent, yes, for 4 years, increase the income tax on those that you mentioned, over $250,000 a year, for 7 years.
Correct.
What do you think about that balance? I mean, sales tax impacts everyone.
Correct.
High-income wage earners, I wish it impacted everyone.
Right.
I mean, that
right,
we all were high-income wage earners, but
right,
no, it's about the top 1 or 2%.
Right. Well, so the difference between a 1/4 cent sales tax, which isn't that much, and an income tax raise is there are a lot of things where we exempt sales tax from, basic necessities such as food, mm-hmm, shelter, and so it doesn't quite have the same effect on the poorest of the poor. Now, the governor's initiative, because it has so many stakeholders and business interests and teachers and so on, it has a much better chance of passing. Molly Munger's initiative has virtually no stakeholders except for one organization, which is the California State PTA. And in past historical experience, when you simply have an initiative that has one wealthy donor and virtually no one else.
She's very wealthy.
Correct, but people now read it as simply a wealthy person funding one initiative. Those initiatives tend to fail. You
mentioned that sales taxes, the way we are structured here in California, there are certain exempt categories, food, right, shelter. Is it time, though, that we start looking at how we levy sales tax? I mean, maybe we should start putting it on services. We are a service economy.
I am definitely open to changing our tax system because I believe currently it is unfair. I also believe it does not have a fair share of the wealthy paying their taxes. So I do absolutely support increasing income taxes on the wealthy.
Well, what about sales tax, though? I mean, that's the distinction. We only have certain categories that are taxed sales-wise.
Right.
Lawyers, accountants, I'm a lawyer, you're a lawyer.
That's right.
I mean, should our services be taxed?
I would absolutely be open to looking at expanding the base, including services. It would depend on which ones, it would depend on what amount. I'm open to radically changing our tax system because really it's one that was based on 1920s. It's a very different time we are in now. And so that is something I definitely would like to do.
Okay, his name is Ted Lieu. He's a member of the California State Senate. Those initiatives will be on the ballot in November 2012. I'm Brad Pomerance. Thanks for watching Time Warner Cable's Local Edition. We're going to send you back to HLN.